in the Giggle, how exactly did they make the Zeedex in less than 72 hours? For anyone who hasn't seen the episode, in the Doctor Who special, The Giggle, everyone in the world thinks they're right because this neuro wave that was behind the hidden message in the screen. It's a whole thing. Go watch the episode. It makes a lot more. It makes sense. I won't say a lot more sense. It makes sense. Basically, how did they make the Zeedex in less than 2 days? Seriously, think about it. If everyone in the world thinks they're right, including those at unit when they're not wearing the Zeedex bracelet, how was it made? Outside of the Blinks, Menly, and presumably anyone else on Earth who has travelled in the TARDIS, such as Mickey, Martha, Yaz, Ryan, Graham, or any other companions currently still on Earth, everyone else in the world was corrupted by the Giggle. And yet, we're supposed to believe in less than 2 days, Menly and the Blink was able not only to create the Zeedex, but get everyone at unit to wear them, and ship them out to news presenters, and do that without anyone trying to stop them. It took 3 people just to restrain Kate when she took her bracelet off. How exactly did Melanie, a 60-year-old woman, manage to do this? I'm not doing this to bring up sex or gender or age, but if you put a 60-year-old woman versus a highly trained unit soldier, who do you think's gonna win? And yet we're supposed to believe she was able to somehow get them to wear the bracelets. And yes, I get it's a nitpick, but seriously, how were these made in 2 days? Kate didn't want to wear a bracelet when she wasn't wearing one. So obviously, she didn't authorize the creation of the bracelets because she thought she was right. So we can immediately throw that hypothesis out the door. It wasn't, oh, Kate believed it. No, that's thrown out the door because she didn't want the bracelet on when she wasn't wearing them. Therefore, she didn't want the bracelet created. So the only real logical answer is the Blinks has complete control over unit and can control any door and computer in the company. Now, that is an answer. But as I just said, that means the Blinks has complete control over unit tower. And seeing as Kate didn't want the bracelet to be made, it also means the Blinks was never programmed with a kill switch or overwrite thing in case there was a hack or taking control of. Otherwise, Kate or anyone with the power to know the phrase would have used it to stop the creation of the Zeedex. But no, the Zeedex is created. Therefore, the only logical answer is the Blinks has complete control over unit tower. Kate gave the Blinks complete control over unit tower, but it also means that there is an alien in charge of the most powerful company on Earth. What is the likelihood no one tried to stop Mel? Because seriously, if they created the bracelet, how did she get anyone to wear them? And let's actually talk about the anti-Zeedex report, shall we, real quick. Now, I can't say for certain because, you know, it was so subtly hinted at in the story that it's easy enough to miss, but I think possibly if you really carefully like examine the episode and really pick it apart and ever so slightly watch it like frame by frame, there's the teeniest, tiniest, ever so small possibility that the anti-Zeedex movement is some allegory or parallel to some other real-world anti-something kind of movement in the world. I mean, I can't imagine what it possibly could be, but you know, it's so subtle you can't tell. But I think just possibly maybe it's an allegory for something in the world. In all seriousness, I wrote that bit as a joke, but as of recording this, there is currently a measles outbreak spreading through the world. Please, get your child vaccinated. Measles can be a life-threatening sickness. And I don't want to bring this video down, but the fact that this topic's being talked about, it kind of feels relevant. It kind of feels weird. I'm going to put this bit down because this is just a prop. I don't actually... My microphone's over there. But yeah, in all seriousness, if you haven't got your child vaccinated, please get them vaccinated. Vaccines don't cause autism. The lead research for that was a fraud. The study conducted to try and find that has been completely discredited. The lead researcher, Andrew Wakefield, never was anti-vaccine. He just wanted to get individual shots. Instead of getting one MMR jab at once and paying once, he wanted you to pay 3 separate times to get the shots separately. He also just happened to have monetary connections to companies who happen to make the vaccines individually. To this day, out of the tens of thousands of cases trying to recreate any of the evidence Andrew claimed, have been unsuccessful. Do not let the articles trying to sensationalise on the current outbreak of measles scare you. They're just trying to rehash the old belief to get you to click on their articles. It's shameless and disgusting. So please, vaccines do not cause autism. Don't let any of these articles spreading around that are trying to misinform you tell you otherwise. Please get your child vaccinated. It could be the difference between life and death. It also feels kind of weird to continue this video now that I've said that, but you're kind of watching this for Doctor Who, so I'm going to take a cut real quick and probably take a 5-minute break. Sorry. I really don't know how to continue this video now, actually. Okay. I don't want to make light of that situation, but this is meant to be an entertaining video, so let's just try and move on, shall we? Back to the news report about Zeedex. There is zero likelihood this video ever would have made it to TV. Not because of the subject, but because every person at that news station would have thought they were right and would have thought they deserved to be the star telling the story. They would have been fighting throughout the entire station as everyone tried to present the story because they're the one that deserves to tell the story. I'm the star of the station. Ha ha ha. But no, there's no way the story would have ever made it because everyone would have been fighting. But even if it had, who mic'd her up? Who did the lighting? Who operated the camera? Whose sole belief in the world is, I'm right to film them in this life? Who thinks they're right to record things? Who thinks well, hypocritical much. Who thinks the most right thing in their life is to be a camera boy, or to be a gopher, or to be a lighting rig guy? Who thinks it is my life's mission? I am right to do this in my life. I am right to hold the mic like this. I am right to hold the camera like this. This is the right thing to do in life. No one. No one would have mic'd them up. No one would have done their makeup. No one would have done the lighting. They would have just appeared on TV looking like they would have. And they would have been fighting because everyone thinks they're meant to be the star. There is no way this news article or news story would ever have made it to TV. But even if we ignore every bit of that, there are more problems to address. For instance, how did they even get to the news station? Now, this is mildly dark, but also it's a true fact if we think about the subject of that episode and how everyone was fighting. News reporters report the news. And people do not always agree with news reporters. I don't agree with news reporters half the time. I agree with them half the time I don't. And that is my subjective bias. However, if everyone thinks they're right and someone is reporting something they think is false, there is going to be a subcategory minority, very small selection of people who think they're spreading misinformation by doing the news. I should kill them. Now, this is I want to be very crystal clear. Like, these people do exist in the world. I am very much aware. But they are very tiny minority of people, very small group. However, if everyone in the world thinks they're right, these people, even if it's the back of their thought, even if it's the back of their mind, go, this person is wrong and I should do something about that. No, that is a bad thought. I should push that out of my mind. Do not listen to that thought. That was a very bad thing to think. If they suddenly think they're right, they think, I should do something about this. I should stop them spreading misinformation. I should do this. That is the right thing to do. I should kill them. That's what would have happened. They would have swarmed the news reporter station and there would have been so much death. But no, somehow they managed to get the TV broadcast to talk about how I'm not going to wear this bracelet because I'm anti-Zeedex. And it's just, like that whole thing, it just felt so out of place. And like, Russell, honey, sweetie, you could have just said something like, couldn't you have just like got people to wear them? It's been 2 days, doctors. People are killing each other. We only just got the Zeedex today. We haven't had a chance to get everyone to wear them. And also, if we try, there's more infighting. Why do you have to, this whole scene just falls apart the more you fucking talk about it. Jesus Christ, they brought the news into it, but literally, they could just be like, it's been 2 days, doctors. We've only just managed to get everyone at unit wearing the bracelets. There are millions of people in the UK. We don't have enough bracelets for everyone to wear them. But no, they went like, nah, we already tried that. We're going to put social commentary on the news and say, hey, the news report's anti-something. Take your pick of anti-subjects. But no, was it meant to be a joke? Is that what it was, Russell? It was like, look at it, we're making jokes out of anti-vaxxers or anti-chips or whatever. Because it didn't come across that. But there are so many more problems with this episode. But hey, let's say they did want to get people to wear the bracelet. How could they have done it? The episode specifically calls back out that UNIT is now out in the open, broad daylight, revealing themselves to the world. Okay, use that. There are people who unequivocally believe that the government is always right. There are people that believe the government, every choice the government does is correct. So there will be a subcategory of society that would say, hey, even while I think everyone is right, my belief of right is that the government is always right. So whatever the government says, I believe is right. So they believe that. So Kate or anyone at UNIT could have gone on the TV and gone, okay, right, basically, we have these bracelets, they can help fix the world. Put on this bracelet and help us save the world. We as the government are telling you, like, go to your UNIT distribution point and get one of these bracelets right now. They're free and they'll help you save the world. Come do what the government wants you to tell. And that even if it's only like 1,000 people, if 1,000 people put on the bracelets, suddenly like, oh god, okay, I need to help. And then they could put the bracelets on, and then they could recruit the public to be like, cool, okay, help us put these bracelets on everyone. Hand out bracelets, just put them on someone, grab someone, put the bracelet on, and the more people you grab, the more people you convert, and the more people you can make sane. I mean, there's also the problem of how did they make the Zeedex? That was the original thing of this, right? Yeah, like, how did they make the Zeedex in just 2 days? How did they make enough Zeedex for the entirety of unit? Like, for instance, let's be generous and say there's 1,000 people working at unit. Just 1,000 people. That's 1,000 Zeedex they need to make. How exactly did they make the bracelets in 2 days? Were they being mass produced? Like, how did Melanie crack the code? Even if it was like, I am a computer, this is how to make the bracelet. Okay, so you need someone to make the bracelet. You need someone to build it. You need someone to do the wiring. You need someone to, like, solder it. You need someone to make everything about the bracelets. And if it's not being made by the Blinks every second, then it's being made by Melanie. So, what? Was she just, like, sat in, like, a rec room, just, like wiring it up and, like, yeah, and they're like, cool, put the bracelet on. It's working. Hooray. Making a bracelet, if it would take, like, what, 10 minutes to make one bracelet, that's 6 bracelets an hour, 124 bracelets a day. So in 2 days, they can make, at most, about 250 at a push if they take 10 minutes to make. So how do they get everyone at unit to wear them? How do they make them in time? I don't know. Just, there's probably going to be more in the comment section below talking about this because I kind of, like, flubbed my entire script, but there's so many issues with the Zeedex, and I mean, when it comes to the Giggle, there are like so many issues, like how the toy maker threw someone off the roof, which sounds simple when you say like, oh, we just kind of threw the crew off the roof, but like the maths behind that fall and the timing and how much, like, it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. I spent an entire day looking at the calculations, just the same sheet, and that episode. Anyway, if you want to hear me go even madder and talk about how the toy maker throwing stuff on the roof is like the worst thing you could have done, click this video here. Like, I might kind of block. I have to walk this way. See ya.